Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial using Fusion. So today I just wanted to show you how to create something for your architectural pavilion, and we can usually 3D print these roof designs. So something a little bit more organic and like kind of looks cool, and it might suit your design. So I'm just going to show you how to use the surface tool, and we're going to create a 3D sketch today, and I'll show you how to use the geometric pattern, which is a new feature. Another thing which also might help you guys, if you go into environment, you can change what the background color looks like. So it might be a bit lighter on your eyes. So I just like using River Rubicons. Okay, so I'll bring up a new drawing here. And first of all, we're just going to create a sketch on the sketch plane. And what I'll do, I'll just draw um, a rectangle, a center rectangle, and we'll just do a construction line rectangles to start off with. So I'm just going to drag a box out of a shape, and I'll make it, say, 60 wide and 100 high. And we're just going to use that as to create reference points so we can draw off them. Okay, so next thing, what I'll do, we're going to rotate the drawing slightly. So it sort of looks a little bit like it's in 3D. And then we're just going to draw another line out from the center point at one of the top lines there. And we'll just draw along that blue axis there, and we might come out, say, 20 millimeters out from there and hit enter. Next thing is what we can do, I'll create some little points here. So I'm just going to create a point on there and a point there. So that's another little reference point for us, okay? And then what I'll do, I'll use our spline tool, and I'm just going to draw a line, actually turning on drawing now by turning off the construction line. Go from that point that we created up to that point, and then back down to that point, and then finish it. So as you can sort of see, we have a sort of a 3D sort of sketch already starting to evolve. Okay, so then I'm going to finish that sketch. Next thing, we'll just create an offset sketch, an offset plane from a plane. So we're going to select our plane, and I'm just going to drag out a distance, let's say 50 millimeters, and go OK. And on that plane, we'll just draw just a standard 2D shape. And what I might do, let's again draw a rectangle with the center rectangle in construction line. And this one before we made it 60 wide. So let's make this one, say, 20 wide and 40 high. Go OK. And so then we now have some points there, and I'll create a little point. So I have a point there on that one, a point there, and we have a point there. We can also create some more points on the corners as well. Okay, so anyway, I'll draw a little sketch from here. We're turning on or turning off construction line back into real drawing mode. One up there, and then one back down there. And close that one. So we have a sort of a shape there now. And finish that sketch. And for the last shape, what we'll do, we'll just create another offset plane from here, and we're going to drag it out. So we came out 50 millimeters there. So this time we'll go out to 100 millimeters over this side. Okay, so I now have a construction plane there. And I'm going to hit new sketch on there. And what we can do, we're going to transfer this blue line. We're going to project it onto the other side. So create, project, and we're going to project that line and that top point and those points there onto the other surface. So as you can sort of see now, we've projected it straight out. So all we have to do now is we'll just draw a little line out from there along that blue line, and we came out 20 millimeters from memory out to there. So what we can now do is turning off the construction line. Again, we'll just draw a little spline from there up to there, back down to there, and finish that. So we have our sort of basic construction, and I'll finish that sketch, as you can sort of see. And now what I want to do, we'll go into Surface Tool, and we're going to create a a loft. So we're going to go from that point or that plane onto that one there and then back out to that one there. And as you can sort of see, we've now created this sort of canopy design. Go back to solid and let's we'll thicken it because this at the moment it's got zero thickness because it's just a surface. So we're going to select our faces, which is going to be that one. And I might just type in 2 millimeters thick and we'll create a thickness of 2 millimeters. Okay, so we have a shape now, which is really cool. It's looking good. Okay, and then all we have to do now is create a pattern, a geometric pattern, and we're going to select our face, which is here. And then once we've selected that, what we can then do, like it has, you can pick some standard default ones, which is like a sphere shape. There's like a cylinder shape. There's a box shape. And then you can actually have a custom shape, which you can draw your own shapes. So I've actually turned on the clear perimeter. So if you have that clicked off, it'll actually go outside the edges. So you kind of don't want that. Just click OK, and it's going to cut some holes in there. I wanted to add some other entrance points here. So just say we wanted to add in a loop here and another loop here. We could easily add in some more sketch planes. So what I might do, let's just go back in, and what I'm going to do, I'll step backwards and I'll drag the marker back to about here. So then what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete all features after the history marker. So then we've got all the sketches kind of like turned off at the moment. So our sketches are now back in there. We have our planes that we've been drawing. And what we can do, we'll create a new sketch, a new offset plane. So we can either go from this side and we'll drag it out 25 millimeters, that side. And we'll do another offset plane from that and we'll go 25 millimeters that way. And so now we have two new planes, and I'll just draw a quick sketch on that one. And let's just draw it a little bit up in the air. So I'll just draw a rectangular box in construction line. So let's draw a box like around about there. I'm just estimating some spots at the moment. And I'm just going to draw some arcs from that point up to, with the construction tool turned off, over to there, and back down to there. And okay, now what I actually might do, let's just add in, I'm going to draw a construction line, sort of just pick a random spot going across there. And I'm going to drag that point, whoop, we wanted to get rid of that. And drag it up to there. I'm going to delete that there, and I'm going to drag it up to the crossover point. So I have a point there. Finish that sketch. So we have sketch there, and then I'm going to project that onto the next one. So on that one, I'll create a new sketch. And we're going to create a project. And we're going to project that across onto there. Finish that sketch. And let's now do a loft. In the surface command, create a loft. And we're going to go from that one to that one to that one to that one to that one. And let's see how that looks. Whoa, okay, so now we're starting to get some cool designs happening here. So yeah, and we can follow through by doing the thicken command again in the solid, so creating some thickness. And we can add in say a millimeter thick there to give it some sort of shapes. Then you can do the geometric thing. Okay, so that's one body done. So let's try this again. I'm just going to go create a new drawing. Let's start with a sketch, and let's do a different shape this time. So I'm going to start with a pattern at the top. Let's say something like this. Finish that sketch. And then let's do a construction offset plane. We'll go back a little bit to here, go OK, create a sketch there. Let's just draw another plane. I'm going to draw another one, sort of slightly overlapping this time. Finish that sketch. Let's create another offset plane from there. I'm not too sure exactly how. I'm just going to do this really roughly so we get some shapes going. And I'll do another quick sketch on that plane. And let's just draw another shape here, which is a bit lower this time and comes up to a bit higher. And now let's just go back to surface and create a loft with that from that one to that one to that one. And we have the starting of a bit of a roof pattern going on. Really rough, but you sort of see the idea. Go back to solid and we'll actually we'll do a thicken on that by like, say 2 millimeters. Okay, and so we have our roof, which looks really bad. But let's create a new component, now, and let's type in legs or like pylons. Okay, and I'm gonna select the go OK, and we can create a new sketch on the ground. And I'm going to draw some little pylons here, like I'll draw a pylon here, a pylon here. Okay, and if you want to make all those pylons the same size, let's go into modify and change parameters. And let's do a user parameter and create a name for it and go pylon. Okay, so you have our pylon, and let's say 2 millimeters is the thickness. Okay, and we go OK. And if I press the letter D now and actually go up and measure that and click on and type in pylon, it already has it written there, and go enter. Ooh. So I'll go around and actually select all of those and go OK. Oop. And type in pylon. So now they're all got a little thing called FX. So what we can do now is if I just go up and go finish sketch, we have these tiny little circles here. So what I might do now, I'm going to extrude these. I'll show what's going to happen in a second. So we'll select those. And we're going to project them up one-sided, distance to object. And we'll just select this object here, and it's going to project up to the object. And we now have what could be the start of a roof with pylons. Now, if I go back into modify, change parameters, and let's look if I change the parameter here to 10 millimeters and go OK, our design has changed. So we could easily do that for the other things as well, for the roof thickness, etc. Okay, so we now have that part kind of drawn. I'll show you another trick in a minute. So next step, what we want to do, we want to create a sketch on the ground plane, and we're just going to create a circle pattern. So first of all, we'll just draw a circle. Then what we want to do, we want to basically get the circle roughly around the middle. So as the object is sitting on around the diameter of it. Then what we want to do, we want to go down and actually create a pattern, circular pattern, and then we're going to select the features, which are the legs and the roof, and then we're going to rotate it around that. So you just go in there, click on a couple of times to get to what you need to do to make your roof look acceptable. And And then once you've done that, we'll click OK, and you have something that we can 3D print, which will be really good. One further thing that we could also do, if I bring up a new sketch here, I'll just do a quick one which will show you a few really easy ideas. If we create a sketch, and I'll just draw a sketch on the base plane here, and let's just draw some simple lines. Like what I'm actually going to draw here is like a walkway, I suppose, with a loft with a sort of sweeping kind of wavy design. So I'm just going to draw some shapes here like this. Oops, go back one. Nothing too crazy with the curves, because when you're actually trying to do it, it may not actually do the waves correctly. Okay, so I'll draw one more like this shape, let's say about there. Okay, and then what I'll do, I'm going to turn these into 3D shapes. So I go up, and I'll just go up a little bit on that first one, escape out of that, draw another one up here, another one up here, and I'll just keep doing that to finish off, and then I'll do another one here, and go OK. Then I'll just draw, oops, the lines, just connecting up all those lines now, all the dots, and another one from there to there, another one from there to there, another one from there to there. And so we have a few different triangles at all different shapes here. We want to create a loft, so I'm just going to go up into surface, and let's create a loft. So we'll start at this bottom one here, and then we'll go to the top one, then to the bottom one, then to the top one, then to the bottom one, and to the top one. So what we have is some sort of cool little shape going on there. Click OK, and then we go back to solid, create a thicken that by selecting the surface, come up, say, a millimeter, go OK. Then we can create a pattern, geometric pattern, select the surface, and it should just do the what we were selecting before. And we can actually start to drill holes in that and create some interesting shapes. Okay, thanks for watching. Hopefully this helps, and chat to you later on. Now you can sort of see at the top here, there's some that are actually connected here, so we can actually go back and edit that, and then we'll change that round. So if I go back into here and right click and go edit feature, and we'll just reduce let's make this the distance a little bit bigger. Let's like make it 12 millimeters here, for example, and you'll start to see them come a bit more separated. So I'll click OK and see how that looks. And it's getting closer. So I'll just go back and edit it one more time. And let's make that, say, 12.5 millimeters. Okay, and then we should actually have a nice gap there now. And we're getting there. So you guys can experiment with that around, and you'll eventually get to the right design that you desire. Okay. The next thing I wanted to show you guys is if we wanted to have some more sort of, we can go back and edit the loft, for example. So if we go back in here and we can edit the feature. So we have 3 sketches here, but just so we had some more sketches and we wanted to loft further to this. So I'll go back and create some more loft features in that. So I'll just hit cancel on that, and going back into our design here. So I'm going to create another sketch. So let's just go back to this initial sketch here, and we're going to create a new offset plane, construct an offset plane from there, and we'll drag it out 25 millimeters and go OK. And I'm just going to draw a sketch onto that plane, and I'll make it a little bit different so we can see some changes here. So I want to make it up a little bit higher. The other thing we can do is actually turn on all the sketches to see where the other sketches are, and that will help us come up with our design. And I'm just going to turn off the bodies. So we have this first sketch that goes around here. So let's have one here, and I'm just going to do this really quickly. And I'm just going to click over there. So we'll have a sketch there like that. Okay, and I'm going to finish that sketch, and I'm going to project that across. I'm going to do another offset plane from there, and let's make that, we went 25, 50, this one's going to be 75 out. Okay, and I'll do another sketch on there, and I'm going to project those patterns. So project that shape onto there and go, okay, so then what I'd like to do is just follow that shape from there to the top to there, and okay, finish that sketch. Now let's redo the loft by editing the loft. So we have 2 profile features there, but we do want to add in some more loft. So I'm just going to add another one in, which we can pick up from the other sketches. So I'll just turn that body off, wherever that is. Let's try going to get rid of those and cancel. I'm just going to edit that by just deleting that actually. And that'll actually change some of these other settings. Delete that. And we'll go back into creating a new surface, and we'll create a loft from there, from this one to that one to that one to that one. So now we're getting a little bit more detailed and some cool design starting to happen now. So I'll go OK with that. And let's go back into solid and create a thicken from that by like 2 millimeters out and go OK. So now we're starting to get into some cool ideas here. So let's just go back in here now and just edit that sketch, which is this one here, sketch number 2 by editing sketch. And let's just move that out a little bit. So let's get rid of some of these restraints. So I'm just going to get rid of that, delete that. Sorry, I just deleted the line. We come out a bit further. Maybe we just come up a little bit. And that design will change as we update. So thanks for watching and see you soon.